He was too tired to pray. Not because he stopped believing, not because he was angry at Allah, but because disappointment has a way of making even sincere hearts quiet. That kind of tiredness doesn't shout, it doesn't announce itself. It sits gently on the chest and stays there. He still stood on the prayer mat, he still knew the words, yet every night when it came time to ask, his hands felt heavy. Dua no longer felt like hope, it felt like effort, and effort was something he no longer had much of. Days passed like this, not dramatic days, ordinary ones. Wake up, try again, hear nothing, watch others move forward while his life seemed paused. He didn't blame Allah, but somewhere deep inside, a question began to form, not in words, but in feeling. What if my prayers don't matter anymore? He remembered when dua used to come easily, when hope felt natural, when he believed every whisper was heard. But now, after repeated disappointments, his words had become shorter, not out of disrespect, but out of fatigue. He would ask quickly and leave quickly, as if he didn't want to hope too much and get hurt again. Some nights, he wondered if silence itself was an answer. The world didn't look broken from the outside. People laughed, lights stayed on, time moved forward. Only his heart felt like it was standing still, and that's the most dangerous kind of pain, the one no one notices. One night, everything felt especially heavy. The room was quiet. The city outside had gone to sleep. He stood on the prayer mat longer than usual, unsure whether to begin or walk away. For the first time, the thought crossed his mind, maybe I'll skip dua tonight. Not forever, just tonight, just to rest. And that thought scared him more than the exhaustion itself. He stood there in silence, no rehearsed words, no long list of requests, just him and Allah and a heart that felt empty. He realized something in that moment. He didn't need the perfect words. He didn't even need strength. All he had left was honesty. So, instead of asking for success, instead of asking for ease, instead of asking for answers, he whispered one simple sentence. A sentence so small it almost felt insignificant. He asked Allah to let him still be useful, even if it was small, even if it wasn't noticed, even if his life never looked impressive. That was it. No tears fell dramatically, no sudden peace washed over him, nothing changed in the room, and yet something changed inside him. Not relief, not happiness, just a quiet sense that he had been real for the first time in a long while. He slept that night without expecting anything. The next day arrived like any other day. Same routine, same responsibilities, same uncertainties. But something subtle had shifted. He noticed people more. He noticed moments he used to rush past. He helped someone without planning to. He listened without needing to fix. And slowly, very slowly, doors began to open. Not the doors he had demanded, not the ones he had imagined, but the ones that fit the dua he made. Opportunities that felt meaningful instead of impressive. Work that mattered instead of work that showed. Purpose that didn't shine but stayed. And through it all, a realization began to form. Allah had answered him, fully, perfectly, just not loudly. Because Allah promised, "Call upon me, I will respond to you." And response does not always look like what we expect. Sometimes it looks like direction. Sometimes it looks like patience. Sometimes it looks like being placed exactly where you are needed most. It took time for him to understand this, time for gratitude to replace doubt, time for trust to grow again. But eventually, he looked back at that night, the night he almost stayed silent and realized something terrifying and beautiful at the same time. If he had walked away, if he had skipped that dua, his life would have quietly gone in a different direction. And that is when it became clear to him. The dua you almost skip may be the one Allah answers. If you are listening to this while feeling tired in your faith, do not rush away. Do not pressure yourself to feel strong. Tonight, or whenever you are alone, speak to Allah honestly. Not perfectly, not beautifully, just truthfully. Even one sentence is enough. And if this reminder found you at the right moment, let it find someone else too. Share it gently, because someone, somewhere, is standing on a prayer mat right now, wondering whether to speak, and Allah is listening.
The change did not arrive all at once. That is what he learned first. Allah did not turn his life upside down overnight. Instead, he adjusted the direction, quietly, gently, until the weight no longer crushed his chest. The unanswered prayers of the past did not disappear, they simply began to make sense. Some were delays, some were protection, some were shaping him into someone who could carry what was coming next. He stopped measuring his life by what he lacked and started noticing what remained. Faith that still whispered even when it was tired, a heart that still turned back even after doubt, a Lord who never stopped listening even when the servant nearly stopped asking. And this is where the story does not end, because this was only the first lesson. There are other nights he has not told you about yet, other moments where faith was tested again, differently, other doors that opened slowly and others that never opened at all, other du'as that were answered in ways even harder to understand. This journey is not one moment, it is a path, and every believer walks it. Allah says in the Qur'an, "And whoever puts their trust in Allah, He is sufficient for them." This promise does not belong to one night, or one prayer, or one story. It unfolds over time. So this is not a goodbye, it is a pause, because the next chapter speaks about the patience that comes after the answer, and the chapter after that speaks about what happens when hope is tested again. And the chapters that follow remind us that faith is not a straight line, it is a return. If Allah wills, this is only part one. The dua was made, the heart was answered. What comes next is a test of trust.